So let's open up our kit here and let's just quickly kind of look at everything so we understand what's going on in here, and then let's get our Arduino ready for our first program that we're going to write for it. So we do have some resistors in here. Resistors are great for bringing down the voltage of the electricity, just so we don't blow the LED lights or anything, or the motors that we're using. Here we have a little fan, a little keyboard, servo motor. Here we have some different chips, some relays. Now this guy is going to be important. This is what's called a breadboard. This breadboard allows us to do some solderless connections, meaning we don't have to deal with getting a soldering iron, heating it up, getting some tin, melting it together, making sure our wires can connect that way. Instead, this, let me see if I can get that guy zoomed in for you. All right, so your breadboard has this kind of weird layout going on. So on the two sides, you see this negative here and positive, negative, positive. These run vertical down. So if you plug a 5-volt power into the positive here, everything down the line will receive the 5-volt power. It's good if you're needing a lot of power connections. Same thing with our ground here. Next, you're going to see there's A, B, C, D, E, then a little break, F, G, H, I, J, then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? These run horizontal. So think of this as, kind of just like, maybe Battleship would be the best, right? So if I were to say I need you to plug a wire into B3, okay? So I'd find B, then I'd go down 3, 1, 2, 3. So then I would plug a wire into B3. And then anything along this horizontal pattern here, so A through E, will be receiving the information that's being plugged into B3, or the electricity being plugged into B3. Then we have this break here, and then the same thing here. So then I could say, let's go to F5, since I'm already pointing at it. So then everything on this 5 row will receive the same signal that's being plugged into it. Now you might be wondering, why is that important? Well, if you have things like power, or maybe you're plugging in, I don't have a good one here for you. Maybe we're plugging in this ultrasonic sensor right here, right? If I plug it in this way, that would mean everything would be receiving the exact same signal, and I don't want that. Instead, if I plug it in like this, I plug it in down like that, okay? That means everything along, come on, there we go. Everything along these I can now access, which is useful because then I can just plug a wire right into here, and then I can jump it over to my board. Makes it a lot easier, again, for that rapid prototyping. Now this right here is the Arduino unit itself, and we can zoom out now. So this is the Arduino unit itself. You saw the kind of sketch of it, but just so when you're looking at it here, same thing, digital pins. We have our analog pins, our power, and this is the brains of the Arduino. Here is our USB connection, and here, this is what's called a 9-volt barrel jack. So you can either use this to power it after you've coded it, or you can use an external 9-volt battery supply. On top of that, we also have this proto shield in here. We're going to hold on to the proto shield. We're not going to use it quite yet. We'll use that later on. So just make sure you're keeping it in here, but you're not, losing it. There we go. All right. So, and then very easily, we just plug it in like that. All right. What's nice is on the side here too, if we can focus, there we go. You can see that maybe I'm going to tell you to plug it into pin 13. Plug it into pin 13. All right. What we need for our first coding going to be an LED, so we'll just gently open that so we don't lose everything. And I'm just going to grab a red one. You can grab whatever color you would like to play with. Okay, we'll get that closed back up. Now, an LED is important to note that it has kind of two types of pins on it. See? So if I hold this and I get it to focus like that, you're going to see one of the LED pins is longer than the other, right? So we have this long one and short one. Now, the long pin is referred to as the anode, and that is the positive side. The short side is the cathode, and that's the negative side. If you mix those up, you can actually cause a short on the LED where it can catch on fire. I've seen that happen before. You can short out your board because you're having electricity go like the wrong, just a whole bunch of stuff. So we don't want to mix those up. So remember, your anode is the long pin, and that's the one that needs to get plugged in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our long end, we're going to plug that into pin 13, and the short end is just going to go directly into ground, right? So long end 13, short end ground. Once we have that ready, we take our USB like that, and then we'll plug the other end into our Chromebook, and from there we can upload the sketch. All right, hopefully you found this video helpful.